Hi everyone, my name is Alexa. Thank you for joining me. We are going to be doing about 30 to 40 minutes of chair yoga with a short meditation at the end. So hopefully you enjoy getting some movement in, and then we'll connect our movement to breath, ending with meditation. So this is for all levels, so many options for all the moves we're gonna do. We're gonna start by making sure we're sitting up tall. So you can scoot your sit bones a bit forward of the chair, making sure that your feet are planted. Knees are going to stack over the ankles. You can bring the palms face down onto the thighs for a bit of grounding energy. Really sit up tall through the spine. Kind of let your shoulders melt down away from the ears. You can choose to find a soft gaze in front of you, or just allow the eyes to gently close. We'll take these first few moments here to just tune into our breath. Noticing the inhales, the exhales. Nothing to fix or change, just taking a moment to observe. Maybe you notice how the physical body is feeling. You can tune into any thoughts, the quality of the mind. We'll take a few more deep breaths here. Take a deep inhale through your nose, fill up, breathing into the chest, the belly, the base of the spine. Exhale, let it go out the mouth. We'll take one more breath like that together. Deep inhale, fill up, fill up. Exhale, let it go out the mouth. You can allow your eyes to open if they were closed. And just taking a moment here, we'll start to roll the shoulders forward and back. So just starting to warm up through the shoulders. Maybe you notice a bit of tension being held in the neck. Taking these next few moments in this direction. And we'll take a couple more this way before we switch to bringing the shoulders forward. Really take your time here, moving with your breath. And then we'll stop at center, taking a breath here. We'll switch directions, so bringing the shoulders back, forward, and down. Maybe noticing how this direction feels a bit different, just observing without any judgment. We'll take a few more this way, making sure we're even through both sides. When you feel balanced, you can allow the shoulders to melt down. One breath here. We'll start to turn the head from side to side, just taking your time, passing through center, allowing the chin to turn over the shoulder. Still making sure that you're sitting up tall, rooting the sit bones down into the chair. A few more like this. And then as you're ready, you can face forward. We'll take the head up and down. So just being gentle, we're warming up through the upper spine here. Then come back to center. So we'll take half circles. So being extra gentle here, especially if the neck feels tight, side to side. Again, the gaze can be softer, the eyes can close, staying connected to the breath. We'll take a couple more here. And then as you're ready, you can face forward. Maybe a couple rolls through the shoulders, releasing through the neck. We'll start to roll out through the wrists. So you can either make fists with the hands or spread the fingertips. Gentle movement. We'll make sure that we go both directions, so just remembering which direction you're starting with. And then as you're ready, you can switch directions. Maybe you release the fingers or make a fist, loosening up through the hands, through the wrists. And then as you're ready, you can allow the palms to come down onto the thighs. We're going to take some seated cat-cows to warm up through the spine. So options here, I'll show you the first option. So you're going to take an inhale to arch the back, pressing the belly, the shoulders back towards the chair. And then exhale to round, curl in. So we're finding that cat spine as we come forward. rounding in. Another option here, if you want to add the arms, you can interlace the fingertips. Arms are going to reach up as you arch the back, cow pose, and come down as you round. So taking either option that feels good in your body. Always remembering to listen, honor your body, how you're feeling today. Take a few more rounds here. You can move with your own breath. Exhale to round. Inhale to lift up, opening through the spine. A few more. Round in and reach up. Couple more here. Round the spine. Big inhale to arch the back. Reach up. Exhale to round. We'll take one more. Big inhale, arch the back. And exhale to round. Come back to center. You can let that go. We're going to start to link our breath to our movement. So arms are going to come out to the sides. Big inhale, allow the palms to reach at the top. And exhale to bring the arms down. So really taking our time here, moving slow, really reach through all 10 fingertips. Big inhale. And exhale to release down. We'll take 5 more here. Big inhale, reach, reach, reach up. And exhale to release the arms down. Couple more here. Maybe you let the eye gaze lift up towards the fingertips on your inhale, and exhale to lower. Big inhale, reach, reach up, finding a nice stretch through the arms, and exhale down. Last one. Big inhale, reach, reach up, and exhale to release down. You can roll out through the shoulders, let that go. Nice work so far. We're going to start to warm up through the low body. You can extend your right leg forward. We're just going to flex and point the toes a couple times. So if at any point this becomes too much on the leg, you can simply place the sole of the foot down and then re-lift. So just pointing and flexing. And then we'll start to roll out through the ankle. So we'll start going towards my right. A few more like this. Taking your time here. And then you can come back to center. We'll take the other direction. Couple more this way, making sure we even out through both directions. And as you're ready, you can release the right foot down, taking a little break for the right leg. We'll extend the left foot out, and just starting by flexing and pointing the toes, activating through the calf muscle, just warming up through the ankle, through the feet. Making sure to still sit up tall, remembering to breathe. And then as you're ready, we'll roll out through the ankle, going first towards my left. And really just take your time here. Deep, full breath. And then as you're ready, come back to center. We'll go the other direction. So it's okay if you hear any cracks or pops, just warming up through this ankle. And then as you're ready, release the left foot down. One breath here at center. We're going to stick with the legs, so a little bit of toning here. You're going to lift your right leg up. You can flex or point the foot, and we're just going to take tiny pulses. So lifting the hamstring up off the chair. Hands can come to the hips. Make sure to sit up tall for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, almost there, 4, 3, 2, 1, release the right foot down. Maybe you bend the knee a couple times, shake that out, and we'll move on to the left side. So extending the left leg out, either flexing the toes or pointing them. We'll start to pulse this leg up. So again, hands can come onto the hips as a reminder to sit up tall, tiny pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, final 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release the left foot down. You can shake out through that leg, release, release, release. Now that we warmed up through the low body, we're going to move into a nice stretch for the legs, for the hips. So we're going to start by bringing the right foot over the ankle. You want to always flex this foot to protect the knee. And we're just going to be here for about a minute or so. So you might feel a stretch in the back of the right leg. Making sure to sit up tall. You can apply gentle pressure to the right thigh to intensify the stretch. Maybe you allow the eyes to close here, staying connected to the breath. Breathing into anywhere that you feel sensation in this stretch. Continuing to keep that tall spine, allow the shoulders to melt down away from the ears. Working to release any tension through connection to the breath. Really following the inhales, following the exhales. And just a little bit longer here, choosing to stay, to breathe into any sort of stretch that you feel in the seated pigeon. And then as you're ready, you can slowly release. Might feel nice again to rebend, straighten through that right leg, release any tension you may feel in the knee and the hip, and we'll get ready to move to the left side. So we're gonna bring the left leg over, foot is gonna stay flexed. And it's normal to feel both sides differently, so just taking a moment to notice, to observe without any judgment. Again, you can have a soft gaze or allow the eyes to close, whatever's gonna really allow you to connect to your breath, to breathe into the stretch. Making sure the left foot stays flexed. Remembering to sit up tall just a little bit longer here. Final few deep breaths here, choosing to stay. And then taking your time, you can release the left foot down. Again, you can bend the knee a couple times, release any tension. We'll take a little break from working on the legs, the hips. We're gonna come into a seated twist. So take an inhale to sweep the arms overhead. Left hand is going to come to the knee and right hand is going to reach back towards the back of your chair. So being really gentle here, you want to keep lengthening through the spine as you gently turn. Really letting this turn come from the torso, come from the core. A few more big breaths here. Making sure both sit bones are rooting down into the chair. Let's take one more big inhale together. And as you exhale, come back through center. One breath here at center, maybe noticing the difference between the sides of the body. We'll move on to the next side. Take a big inhale to reach the arms up. This time, right hand comes to the outside of the left knee. Left arm comes to the back of your chair, gently turning. Again, turning from the core, the torso. You can allow the eye gaze to turn over the left shoulder, being gentle with the neck. A few more big breaths here. Let's take one more big inhale together. And as we exhale, we'll come back to center. So refinding our home base here. So palms come down onto the thighs, feet plant, really sitting up tall. Let the shoulders melt down the back. We'll take a few deep breaths here. We'll start to move into lunges and some of our warrior stances. So sit the sit bones a bit further up. We're gonna turn towards the right to start. So we want this right leg, we wanna keep the knee right over the ankle here. Right foot is gonna plant. We're gonna slide the left leg back. So we're coming into a lunge here. Toes are gonna be tucked, knee is right under the hips. We're gonna take a few breaths here. You can bring the hands to the hips, focus the eye gaze forward. You wanna really draw the navel in towards the spine, finding a long spine here. A few more big breaths. Maybe you test your strength here and work to lift the hips up ever so slightly and then release back down. One more chance to try that. Lifting up, engage through the core. and exhale to release back down. We're going to stay in our lunge. We're going to start to link our movement with our breath. So take an inhale to reach the arms up, reach through all 10 fingers, and exhale to release the arms down. We'll take a few more like this. Inhale, reach up, and exhale to release down. Inhale, reach up, and exhale to release the arms down. 2 more. Big inhale, reach up, find length through the side body. Exhale to release. Last one, inhale, reach up, and exhale to release down. We're going to keep our right leg forward here and move into our warrior 2. So our left foot's going to ground. It's going to be facing towards the front. So my hips are going to be right under my shoulders, reaching the arms out. We'll take a few deep breaths here. Really reach through the fingertips. Remember to breathe. A few more big breaths here. Let's take one more deep inhale. As we exhale, flip your front palm up. We're going to tilt back, coming into a peaceful warrior. So this hand can press onto the thigh or onto the shin. Really be certain not to press into the knee. Maybe you let your eye gaze reach up towards the right fingertips. A few more big breaths. Finding a nice stretch through the side body. And release, coming back to warrior 2. We're going to reface the front, finding our starting stance. So left foot comes in, right foot comes in, palms come to the thighs. Just taking a few breaths here. Connecting back to your breath, letting that first side go before we move into our left side. Making sure the sit bones are rooting down. Sit up just a little bit taller, finding length through the spine. Let the shoulders melt down the back. And we'll get ready to move into the left side. So we're going to turn towards the left. Left foot is going to plant. So you're going to want to sit a little bit closer towards the edge of your chair. Right leg is going to come back this time. We're starting in our low lunge. Hands come to the hips. Make sure the knee's right over the ankle, knee under the hip. Sit up tall here. Take a few deep breaths. Allowing the shoulders to melt down the back. And again, maybe you play with your strength, really engaging the core and the glutes to maybe you lift the hips up and then release down onto the chair. We'll take one more chance to try that out. Lift up and exhale to release back down. Staying in our lunge, we'll start to link our breath to movement, incorporating the arms. Take an inhale to sweep the arms up, really reach the fingertips, and exhale to release the arms down. We'll take it several more here. Inhale, reach up. And exhale to release. Inhale, reach up. And exhale to release. We have a couple more. Inhale, reach up, creating space, length through the side body. Exhale to release. Final 2, big reach up. And exhale to release. Last one, inhale, reach up. And exhale to release. We're going to come into our warrior 2. So we're going to slide this right foot back. The toes are going to point right towards the front of your space. Hips are going to be right under the shoulders. Reach the arms out here. Sometimes it takes a moment to really set up your alignment. Once you feel steady, focus your eye gaze over your front fingertips. Finding your strong warrior 2. This can be a lot for the hips, so remember to breathe here. A few more big breaths. One more big inhale. As you exhale, flip the front palm up, tilt forward and back, coming into our peaceful warrior. So again, pressing onto the outer thigh or shin, taking care to avoid the knee. Really reach through the left fingertips. Couple more big breaths here. One more big inhale. And as you exhale, we'll slowly and carefully come back to our comfortable seat. You can hop the right foot in, left foot comes in. Ankles under the knees, allowing the palms to face down onto the thighs for a couple grounding breaths here. Okay, so now we are going to work on some balancing yoga postures. So balancing is good for strengthening the muscles and building focus. So we're going to start by coming up to stand. So you're going to want to come to the right side of your chair. We're going to play with tree pose. So just taking our time with this, seeing how it goes. Left hand is going to come to the back of the chair or onto the side of the chair, depending on what chair you're using. And first we're just going to start by really grounding into both of the feet. So let the shoulders melt down. You want to keep lengthening up through the crown of the head. You're going to shift the weight over into the left foot. Right hand can come to the hip. We're going to start with just a kickstand right here. So bringing the heel right above the ankle. It really helps when working with balancing postures to keep your eye gaze straight forward, focusing on something that is not moving in front of you. So maybe this feels good. Maybe this is where you want to stay today. If you would like to challenge yourself, try the next step. You can bring your foot to your calf. And you have your chair here, so you can always lift that arm up onto the hips. Sometimes you can bring your hands to prayer, but just allowing yourself space to just experiment. If you fall out, you can always come right back in, and you have the chair right next to you to hold on to. So now that we are here, whether you're staying with your foot grounded or onto the calf, maybe you try the next level. So it's really important here, you never want to press into the knee. So the foot can maybe come up to the inner thigh. And maybe you give that a try, maybe you play with your balance. It's okay to wobble here. It's really just about enjoying this and embracing the challenge. So if at any point this feels too much, you can always bring your foot back to your calf. So we're all going to try bringing both hands to the hips. If you fall out, you can come right back in. Really focus your eye gaze forward. Keep lengthening through the crown of the head. We're going to bring the hands to prayer. You can always stop at any point. If you want to keep going, we're going to reach both of the arms up. Palms are going to face toward each other. Really let the shoulders melt down the back. Focus your eye gaze. We're going to take a couple deep breaths here. And then as you're ready, slowly release the foot back down. Maybe you pedal out through the feet, release any tension. Nice work. We will move to the other side. So coming to the other side of your chair, just so you have that hand there for support. We're going to start just rooting through the feet. So just letting the shoulders melt down the back, really feeling all four corners of both feet, setting up, finding length through the spine, really standing up tall, standing up straight. You can always have your right hand come to the back of the chair. We're going to shift the weight over into the right foot. We're going to bring the left foot into a kickstand. So heel is right above the ankle. You really want to keep lengthening up, so you never want to be rounding forward. Left hand can come to the hip. And just take a couple of deep breaths here, noticing how this side is feeling. Usually we have one side that we prefer to balance on. So maybe you stay here, or you can bring the foot up to the calf. Noticing how this shifts the balance. Make sure you're focusing your eye gaze. Both hands can come to your hips, or you always have the chair to hold on to. Couple breaths here. You can choose to stay here, or maybe you take the foot further up the right leg, bringing the foot to the inner thigh, making sure to avoid the knee. And maybe you want to stay here, maybe you play with your balance. And if at any point this feels too much, you can always bring your foot right back to the calf. We're going to play with bringing both hands to the hips. Focus your eye gaze. Making sure you're breathing, never holding your breath. You can bring the hands to prayer. Choose to stay here, reach both arms up. The shoulders melt down the back, really growing the branches of your tree. Few more big breaths here. If you fall out, you can come right back in, just giving yourself room to experiment, to try something new. One more big inhale, and exhale to release. You can bend one knee, then the other, releasing any tension in the low body, shaking out through the arms. And we'll come back into our comfortable seat here. So just reestablishing our foundation. So sitting up tall, sit bones root down into the chair. Ankles are under the knees. So refinding our comfortable seat. Shoulders melt down the back, sitting up tall. Couple big breaths here. Really making sure to breathe deep into the belly, the base of the spine. As you're ready, we're going to take an inhale to reach both arms up. Left hand is going to come to the outside of the chair. We're going to take a side body stretch. So you want to reach up to stretch to the side. And depending on how your neck is feeling, you can look up at your right arm or just keep the gaze forward. And really reach through the fingertips. We have a few big breaths here. One more big inhale. And as you exhale, come back, both hands come down, let that side go. We'll take the side stretch on the other side. Big inhale, reach the arms up. This time, right hand comes down to the side of the chair. Really reach up to stretch to the side. Making sure that both sit bones stay planted. So it's normal to want to really reach, but really stay grounded. Keep the soles of the feet planted. A few more big breaths here. One more big inhale. As you exhale, come back through center. You can roll out through the shoulders. We're going to come into a seated forward fold. So options here. So you're going to fold forward. You can allow the hands to rest down. If this is too much, you can always tent up onto the fingertips or hold onto the shins. But you want to let the head and neck relax here. So we're letting the spine round to really find a nice stretch for the low back. So as you're ready, first we'll take an inhale to sit up tall, and then we'll fold forward any amount. Let the head and neck relax. Maybe the fingertips tent or reach for the ankles. Let the head and neck go. We want to stay connected to the breath, but this should feel like a nice stretch through the back body. We'll be here for 5 to 10 breaths, so if at any point you want to ease up out of the stretch, you can always walk your hands up your ankles, up your shins. A few more big breaths here. Final few deep breaths. And then as you're ready, you can walk your hands up the legs to come back up. Taking your time, stacking one vertebra at a time, we'll come back up to our comfortable seat. We're going to do a couple stretches for the upper body here. So we're going to start by reaching the arms out. So really take up space. You're going to bring your right arm across, holding onto the right arm, finding a nice stretch for the shoulders. Couple big breaths here, continuing to sit up tall and to breathe. And as you're ready, release, reaching the arms out. This time, left arm crosses over the body, holding on to the forearm. Couple deep breaths here. As you're ready, release, arms reach up. We'll get a stretch in for the triceps, the back of the arm. So left hand is going to come to the elbow. Not really straining or pulling, so you might feel a stretch, but you want to make sure you can continue to breathe. A few more deep breaths here. Let's take one more big inhale together and exhale just to release the arms out, reaching out for a moment here. Now left elbow will bend, right fingertips come to the left elbow. Making sure to continue to sit up tall, a few more big breaths. And then as you're ready, release, reaching the fingertips out, and then hands can come down onto the thighs. So we're going to move into our last yoga posture. We're going to take eagle pose. So for this, you're going to bring your right foot, it's going to cross over, right leg rather, over your left leg. And maybe you just point the toes down, maybe you try to hook the toes. So either way, whatever feels comfortable to you, you really want to squeeze the inner thighs together. And options for the arms here. So you can wrap at the elbows, but if the shoulders feel tight, you can reach for the back side of the shoulders. So either your hands are up or you're reaching for the shoulders. So this is a big stretch for the upper and the lower body. So we're just going to stay here for a few deep breaths. Really squeezing everything into center line. Continue to breathe. we'll take one more inhale here, and then exhale to release arms and legs. You can shake out through the knees, maybe you windshield wiper the knees side to side, release through the arms, and we'll take eagle on the other side. So left leg crosses over the right. So toes can be pointing straight down, or maybe you hook at the ankles. And then options for the arms, again, you reach for the shoulders. So left arm is on top, or you cross the hands. So a couple more breaths here, really sitting up tall. A few more big breaths, finding a nice stretch through the shoulders. Keep drawing navel in towards the spine. Let's take one more inhale and exhale to release. You can windshield wiper the knees. Feet can come a little bit wider than hips width distance, just turning the knees side to side. Maybe you hold on to the sides of the chair, just releasing out through the hips, through the low body. And as you're ready, come back to center, back to our comfortable seat, sitting up tall. We're going to come back to linking our breath with movement. So just like we began, arms are going to sweep out and up. Big inhale, and exhale to release. Couple more here. Reach, reach, reach. Maybe you notice that this might feel different than when we started. A few more breaths. Big inhale, reach, reach up. Palms meet at the top. And exhale to release. We'll take one more. Big inhale, reach, reach up. And exhale to release. You can bring the palms back onto the thighs. We're going to move into our final rest before we have a short meditation. So coming into our final rest, just allow the eyes to close. Still sitting up tall, but just allowing the mind to connect to the breath. And we'll be here for just about a minute of silence. So just noticing, letting go of any tension, any gripping in the physical body, maybe even in the mind. Taking this time to let something go. Again, eyes can be closed or gaze can be soft, whatever feels most comfortable to you. Softly allow the eyes to open if they were closed, just taking a mindful look around the room, coming back into the present moment before we move into our short meditation. So during our final rest, if you found yourself getting comfortable or scooting back, let's come back to a tall spine. So letting the shoulders melt down, sitting up tall, rooting into the sit bones. And options here, you can have the palms face down. This is going to be more grounding energy, or allow the palms to face up for receiving energy. So I find receiving energy is a nice way to end our workout, our practice with meditation. And we're going to move through a simple meditation linking our breath to a mantra. So what that's going to be is it's going to be something you say silently in your head as you breathe. So as you inhale, you're silently going to say I, and as you exhale, am. So this is a really simple way to just link into the present moment, into your body, into your breath. And the mantra is optional, so if you want to just follow your inhales and exhales, but that's how we're going to work through our meditation. And the main thing here is a lot of people think meditation, you don't have any thoughts. Thoughts will naturally come, just come back to the breath. So as you're ready, palms facing up or down, allow the eyes to close. Taking a deep inhale, if you choose to use the mantra, thinking I, saying that quietly in your mind. And as you exhale, am. Continuing to breathe like this on your own breath, with your own pace. Continue to follow the breath. If at any point you get distracted, gently come back to the inhales, to the exhales, following the complete wave of breath. As thoughts come, as the mind wanders, gently bring your awareness and focus back to the breath. And as you're ready, letting go of any mantra if you were using it. Letting go of the awareness on the breath, just allowing the breath to become natural. You can allow the eyes to stay closed or find a soft gaze. We'll bring our hands to prayer, thumbs at the sternum, center of the chest. Just taking a moment to bow your head, to have gratitude for your health, for your practice. We'll end together with one collective breath. Take a deep inhale through the nose, biggest breath of your day so far. Fill up, fill up. And on your exhale, let it go out the mouth. Release your hands, allow your eyes to open. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this brightened your day and you enjoyed your movement. Again, my name is Alexa, and thank you all.